Hello, and welcome back to Lazy Girl Reads. Excuse my cat's tail. She's decided she wants to be part of this one. So, on my last roll, as you might remember, I got the dice roulette. So, I chose The Echo of Old Books by Barbara Davis. So, this book, honestly, I picked this book because I really like the cover, which I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I really liked it, and I kept seeing it, and so that's how I picked it. And it met the minimum page requirement, so it was perfect. Anyway, this book is about Ashlyn, who is a antiques book dealer, or rare books dealer. So she antique books and first editions and rare books and books out of print and that kind of thing. That's her gig. So she has a shop, and she gets a call from a guy who said, hey, she does work with him before, and he had an estate sale. I've got some stuff you might want to come check it out. So she does. She goes, she looks through, and she finds a book that intrigues her because it has no author, it has no publisher, it has no copyright, it has none of the normal things that you kind of look through in order to see. So she's like, was this self-published? Was this just a personal project, a vanity project? Like, what was this? What is this thing? So she spent some time trying to figure out where this book came from and who published it and all that kind of thing, and she starts to read this book. And so the story kind of takes off from there. And you've got some dual timelines happening. So we've got a World War II era timeline happening in the book that she's reading, and then the modern timeline happening, which is Ashlyn, which is the Echo of Old Books that the reader is reading, right? So you're kind of reading both books at the same time, if that makes sense. And the World War II era timeline is the story of Belle and Hemi. And those are not their real names, but those are the names that they call each other. And the book that she finds is a book that you come to learn is written by Hemi about his encounter and meeting and love story with Belle. And a little bit later in the book, and this is not a spoiler because it actually says this in the description of the book, Ashlyn comes across another book in the same estate sale thing that is written by Belle. And so you get the story of Hemi and Belle from each perspective. So Hemi writes a book to Belle about their love story, and then Belle writes a book back to Hemi. And I cannot remember what the title of Hemi's book was, but the title of Belle's book is Forever and Other Lies, which for some reason really stuck in my head. I found that very catchy because that stuck in my head. So that's the book that she writes back. And Ashlyn is reading these books and is caught up in this love story and is trying to find out like who was the estate person that brought these books to her friend, and then so she wants to track that person down, and then she does, and she meets him, and I can't remember what his name is, but she meets him, and at first he has no interest in the books or the story or anything. He's like, knock yourself out, best of luck to you. But he's just not interested in it. That eventually changes. Ashlyn kind of wears him down, and that eventually changes. I get the impression that he's a little bit more interested in Ashlyn than he is in the story of the books, although he does start to get caught up eventually in the story of the books. So there's that whole gig. And I really enjoyed the love story of Hemi and Belle. It was fun to kind of see the same events told from two different perspectives, right? And it reminds me of, they have that saying, with any story, there's everyone's individual version and the truth in the middle somewhere. And this was kind of that. Like, they're both telling their truth, but it's from their own perspective. So, obviously it's colored by their own personal emotions and motivations and perspectives and misperceptions and all of those things. So I really enjoyed the story of Hemi and Belle and all the different, things that goes through and all the different things that Ashlyn uncovers along the way. So I enjoyed this book. There were a few points in the book that felt a little slow or a little kind of meandering, but I really liked it. There's a little bit of magic in this book in that Ashlyn has a gift where she can feel the emotion of the last person who owned the book. And that it's not a main theme. It doesn't really come up a lot. It's interesting because it's named after that. She calls that feeling, picking up on that emotion, that vibration, she calls that the echo of the book. And that she can't see who it is, she doesn't know who it was, but she can pick up on that emotion, that vibe from whoever owned the book previously. And so she calls that the echo of the book. And it's interesting to me that the name of the book is The Echo of Old Books, which harkens back to her having this gift of being able to pick up on the vibe of the previous owner of the book. That's not, like, it's a big deal in the beginning, I guess, in terms of when she first touches Hemi's book. Like, she gets kind of a very strong reaction to it, a very strong feeling from that book. And she also gets a very strong feeling when she comes across Belle's book and when she first touches that. So there's that. But other than that, really, there's not a lot of it threaded throughout the story. Like, I expected that to come back as a recurring theme because it's the title of the book. I expected that to be more threaded throughout the story than it actually was. So it's there, and it's that kind of little hint of magic in her gift to be able to pick up on the vibrations of the book. But it, I guess to a certain extent, it drives her curiosity about the books and why she continues to try to figure out who these people were in real life and what kind of the end of the stories are and all that kind of thing. But I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it more threaded throughout the full storyline of the book. I expected it to be a bigger part of the story than it actually was. It really kind of just introduces the story, and then you kind of move on from there. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I liked the book very much. I thought I had a good time with it, and the cover is beautiful. So there's that. But yeah, so The Echo of Old Books by Barbara Davis. Now let's give a roll and see what my last and final book for the Spookopoly Read-a-thon will be. So I'll be right back. All right, so here we are for our next roll. Last time we landed here on Dice Roll Roulette. Here's the dice. Let's see what we got. So we got a 7. My goodness, I'm so messy. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We landed on candy corn, and that means to read a sweet book. So something, sweet, nice, maybe like a cozy mystery, that type of deal. Fixing my little cards here. So I'll go look at what I've got in my Kindle and get right back with you. That's the cat, so sorry about that. She also wants to be part of this. Here you go. So I got candy corn, so I'm going to read something sweet. And I actually have a buddy read with my cousin that I'm doing for Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So that will be my sweet book. It's a cozy mystery, and I love cozy romance. Is it cozy mystery or cozy romance? It might be a little bit of both. Anyway, it's Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore will be my last book for the Spookopoly Spookopoly Read-a-thon, Spookopoly-thon, you get it. Anyway, that will be my final book for this. So I will go read that book and then come back and let you know how I liked it, and we'll wrap this up. All right, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me at Lazy Girl Reads, and I hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this. I'll see you next time. Bye.